Professor Rogerio, over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Renyoraro. Thank you to Forum for this collaboration in offering these short courses. Those courses are being offered by the Center of Excellence in Agri-Food System and Nutrition of Edward Mondlane University in collaboration with Forum, given its large network of universities that are part of these systems. One thing I would like to ask you to ask the participants is that you have to be aware that you have to fill your email and your contact, because this training course being offered by the World Bank at any time will contact you to check whether you really participate in this training. So make sure you know that it's the Center of Excellence with Edward Mondlane University in collaboration with Forum. And if you receive your email, that email will be sent by an entity associated to the World Bank. It will not come directly from the World Bank. So you will be asked to fill information to provide the evidence that you really participate in this course. Let's make sure we use this opportunity so that we contribute to agricultural transformation in Africa. Those are the things that I would like to invite you to make sure you enjoy this course, and at the same time, we contribute to Africa development. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor, for the opening remarks. I want to now hand over to our facilitators to start the training for today. Over to you, Professor Susan Malaba.
Good morning, participants. We thank you, Dr. Renyoraro and Professor. We welcome you for day 3. I believe that you did practice, and today is going to be a faster day than yesterday. And you're welcome. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Helen.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Renyoraro and Rogerio, and thank you, Professor Susan. So, welcome all participants to day 3. Let's push on and see how far we can go today. If I manage to complete my part, then Professor Susan will come and also start her session. Just a few questions that we received from the Forum network. The first question was, how can one download data from R, for example, the diamond data set? I believe this person was asking about how can somebody access inbuilt data within R. So we are going to see that today before the session ends, and then I'll demonstrate it practically, such that you're able to get any data that you want for demonstrations, or actually to use it to learn for yourself. And then the other one was about that we do a step-by-step on installing R packages. I would encourage you to go to the person who asked. I would encourage you to go to our PowerPoints. Okay, the one that has got class 1. It has that particular slide has 4 steps on how you can install R packages. So in case you pick any option that is really easy for you, whatever information that you want on how to install our packages, you can as well also go back and check our YouTube and follow through at your pace. And then the other question, how do I come to know the commands that I will use in my particular analysis in R, considering that there are very many commands in R? Yes, initially when we are starting, we say that R is command driven, and there are a lot of commands. So you don't need really all the commands. You just need to know what kind of analysis are you going to do, and then you use that particular command. Remember what we even talked about, that when you go to Google, maybe in case you're stuck about something, you can even just type in that maybe I need to do regression or logistic regression and so on. Within R, the moment you put within R, so among the windows that you'll get, you'll always have an answer. So maybe also, I believe that by the end of the training, you'll have a grip on what exact commands you would really need when you're doing your analysis. I think other questions, we'll wait for more questions. And maybe if you send an email, we'll be happy to answer them. So I want to share my slide, and then we continue from where we stopped yesterday. Hopefully I'll be able to finish. Okay, so what we are going to do today, there are just 3 things. We are going to learn about basically data manipulation. But within data manipulation, there are various things that are involved. Just to echo them again, we are going to see how do you add a variable within your file? How do you record an existing variable? For example, if you got a continuous variable, how do you change it to a categorical one? How do you rename a column? How do you subset? Maybe, for example, one of the variable we had about diamond, it had different levels. It had 5 levels. So you might be interested to only deal with a certain level within your particular data set. So you're going to see that. How do you remove a column? Then with the levels of measurements in R, we looked at them yesterday, dealing with missing data, adding and deleting. We're going to just look at that briefly. Then merging data set. I'll give a homework on that, but I'll give you the theory. And then we looked at a little bit of the descriptive analysis, and also a lot is going to be covered with the next facilitator. Okay, so I'm suggesting that we go direct to R and we see practically how do we do data manipulation. But I also urge you to go into the PowerPoints, whatever that we sent. There are various steps like we showed you in case maybe you want to create a variable. How do we do it in R? But it's better we go direct in. These were just some of the things that we are doing. Let's go direct into R and then do these things practically. That's when they will make more sense. And then you can use the PowerPoints just to refer on anything that you might need to understand more. And then after that, I'll get back. Okay. So kindly open your R on your computers, and then we get started. Today we are doing data manipulation. In case you get stuck, just feel free always to post the question in the Q&A. My colleagues will be happy to answer whatever the problem is. The other alternative that we suggested, if you have a question or an error, you can paste it in Google, and then you'll have the result as well. Okay. So we are doing data visualization today. We're going to do the things that I mentioned about. But now, since we've opened our R again, it's always better that we load our packages. We are not installing any package today because all the packages that we need are on our computers. So the first thing we are going to do, load your packages, the ones that we are going to, the basic ones that I mentioned about that we are going to use. Hopefully by now, everyone knows how to load a package. Okay, number 2, we are going to set our working directory. Remember, we set it yesterday. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run line 11. But in case you don't have it, you have to run it again. The concept is we want to import our data into R. So on your computers, you can quickly go through that, and then we proceed, because these are just the steps we had yesterday. So if I create my working directory, I had it yesterday, all I need, that's why I told you that copy the directory within the R console and paste it into the R studio, into the R script. Okay, such that now today, all you need to do is just to run that particular line because the path is already set. And then I'm importing my dataset lab2_data.csv. Okay, and I gave it a name, diamond. All right, so I'm going to just run this particular line. It's just a recap of what we did yesterday. But remember, in case you're going to do analysis, you need to import it into R. So also the other thing that we need to note at the back of our mind, it is always good to see the structure of your data set and see are the level of measurements match with what you had at the back of your mind or within the questionnaire when you're capturing the data. So in the diamond data set, we saw that quality was a categorical and then also color is categorical. But when you run the structure, we see that we see car, which is a character for quality, and then color as a character. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to convert the two variables, quality and color, into such that R reads it as a categorical variables. So we had this code yesterday. I'm going to run line 17, and then I also run line 19. And then I can check my structure again. So it now shows me that quality is a factor variable with 5 levels. Color is a factor variable with 7 levels. Now, I'm going to pause a little bit before we get into now what's the gist of today on data manipulation. And I asked in the chat, have you been able to import your diamond data set? It is the lab2_data.csv Excel sheet that you have. So let's do that very fast. Can you import everything? Just import that particular data set. And now we start on to do some few concepts that you might need when you're manipulating data. Since this is the third day, it should be, I expect everyone at least to know how to import data, because it is, I mean, if you're not able to import it, then what are you going to do? Okay. I'm seeing a lot of yes. I'm seeing people typing in yes, yes, we've imported. So let me hope it is the same case to everyone. If you're facing a problem, kindly type in the Q&A and then you'll get feedback. All right. So the first thing that we are going to do within DM1, that is data manipulation 1, what we are going to do, how do we create a new variable? What we are doing here, these are just basic things that anyone would do in case you have your own data. You might need to do something of what we are doing. So you build on from what we are teaching. I want to create a sum variable, okay? And this sum variable, it is not within my data set. Let me flash a little bit about the view of the data set that we are having. Within our data set, we've got a variable weight, quality, color, price, length, width, and depth. So in case I'm to create new other variables, I want you to keep a keen note on the number of variables we are having here. There are 7 of them. So in case we add in more variables, we expect them to increase from 7 to any number that I really want to add within the variables that I have. Okay, and we are saying that we already saw that our length and width and depth are just, their classes, they're just numerical, okay? They're just numbers. So implying that in case I want to create maybe a variable sum, whereby I'm adding length to width, it will work out because they are both numerical. So you have to add in this particular case of sum, you have to add variables that have got the same class. Okay, so let me first check the class. If I want to check the class of any variable, my command is class. And then inside the brackets, so I tell R that go to my diamond data set. How do I pick a specific variable? I put a $, and then I'll get a drop down whereby I pick any variable that I'm interested in. Okay, for example, in case I'm interested in length, so it will come automatically. So when I run line 30, I want to check the class. It is showing me that it's numeric, the num, right? And then the one of width, when I run it, it is also showing me that it has its class is numeric. Remember, I want to create a variable called sum, whereby I want to sum length, the variable length with that of width, and then I create a new variable, which I'm having here, sum. But now this new variable, it's going to be a summation of length and width, implying that I expect my variables to increase. But what do I want? I want also this new variable sum to be within my diamond data set. That's why I'm saying that with the new variable, I pick my diamond data set, and then I put another new variable, which I'm calling sum. And this one is equal to the diamond. I pick diamond from my diamond data set. You pick for me length, and then from my diamond data set, you pick for me width. Or I can do it this way. I can say that from my diamond $, I pick the length, and then I add diamond, okay, $, and then I put what? I pick the width. So if you're seeing line 33, so I'm creating an addition of the two columns within the variables. But I can as well now put them under within one variable. That's why I'm creating a new variable called sum, but I want it to be within the diamond data set. And I say, let this diamond $ sum be equal to whatever I have at line 33. So when I run this particular line, okay, if you check in the console, I'm not seeing anything. But when I come to the environment, I see that now my variables have increased from 7 to 8. Let's take a view and see. So when I take a view now, you see that now I'm having a sum variable, okay? And remember what we said, you get the length, you add the width, and then it will give you the sum. So the sum variable brings the length and the width for each diamond, and it's a new variable that you've created. Depending on your area of specialization, you might encounter the same scenario whereby within you have your data, and within your data you can manipulate it to come up with this another variable that you're interested in. All right. That is the first one. I also created another variable called min. And this time around, I was like, I'm going to get everything that I have on line 33, the length and width. I put everything in bracket, and then I divide by what? And then I divide by 2 for me to come up the min. So in case I run line 37, then it implies that now I'm increasing also my variables from 8 to 9. I've created a new variable called min. If I view now, what is going to happen? You find that now I've gotten a new variable called min, and what it was doing was just getting the...
Excellent. I'm saying you're fast. That you slow down a little bit.
Okay. All right, thank you for that.
And can I just make, I see people posting a lot their emails, their word. I think let's try to reduce as much as possible what we post so that we can track the information. The form is available for registration. So check the form, don't post your emails and your detail for now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. What we are doing right now, we want to create a new variable in R. So let me go and let me sweep my environment, and then we do it together. So what we are going to have, I'm going to just go and import my diamond data set again. So I'm seeing it in the what? In the environment. These other lines, I'm going to run them. I see the structure, it is okay. Now let's start one by one. I do this end, and then you also try out that side, okay? We check if you if you look at the structure within the R console, I'm having new or numeric for weight, quality and color, they are factors, price is integer, length is new, width, and then depth, okay? Or if you don't want to look at it from here, you can also use a command class, okay, to check a data type of a particular variable. So what you do, you type the command class. You type the command class, okay? And then inside the brackets, you start with the name of the data set, okay? And then you put a $sign and you pick the variable that you're interested in, okay? So it is what we are having at line 29. I used my command class, and then inside, I went ahead to type in my diamond data set, then $sign length. I'm picking length. I want to know its class, all right? So in case I run this particular line, I'm going to see within my console that length is numeric. If I do the same for the case of width, I'm going to come up with a what? With a, they both belong to the same class. So I can do anything that I want with both of that particular information. So how do I add length and width together? Because I want to create a sum variable. So what I do, I know if I'm adding something, for example, if you remember how we use R as a basic calculator, you get 2. Okay, for example, we say that you get 2 plus 2. And then when you click the run button, you're going to see the result. So, but this time around, instead of having 2 plus 2, I want to sum those columns, the column for length and then the column for width. So implying that to get the sum of each diamond, I'm going to get the value for its length and then the value for its width, and then I add them together to give me the sum variable. So what I was illustrating at line 35, I was like, okay, let me first add these, let me first add length and width together. In case somebody might say, why don't I just get length and then I sum it with what? I sum it with width. Okay, let's assume it is like that, without indicating that they are within the diamond data set. What is going to happen? If I run that particular line, you see that in the console, I'm having an error because R cannot identify where are you getting the width from. That's the reason you have to tell R that go in my diamond data set, pick for me length, then add, go again to the diamond data set, and then get for me width. So I'm going to this line, I'm going to remove it, and it's what I'm having here. All right, so let's take an example. In case I run that particular line, when you look into the console, you find that I'm going to, what I'm seeing here is that from the first diamond, when you add the length and its width, it will give you 12.80. The second diamond will give you 9.98 until when you come to the 100th diamond, which is here, which is 16.28. However, this particular information I'm having in my R console, it is not part of the what? The diamond data set. Because if you check in the environment, there is no change. My variables are still 7, yet I'm saying I want to create a new variable.
Ellen?
Yes, please.
Can you allow Philippus to show the screen? He's saying the diamond data is showing only one variable and one observation. So probably he's using a wrong command to call the fire.
Okay.
Philippus, Nambuli, can you show your screen? Can you allow so that we see what is the problem?
David, please, can you allow the
Philippus Nambuli.
How is the name spelled?
Nambuli.
Nambulu.
Nambuli. Philippus is Philippus.
All right, we are promoting. Yeah, promoted.
So please share your screen.
Philippus, please go ahead, unmute yourself and share your screen.
That's the one.
Philippus, please share and then we can help you.
Yeah.
Philippus, please unmute yourself. Okay.
Yeah, share your screen and we see.
Let's share. I think.
Okay. So can you show us the command you use for reading the
I think.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we are seeing your screen.
Okay.
Hey, so we want to see the command that you've used. Oh, you see now it's actually opening a dataset.docs. You're actually opening a document. So you're reading the whole thing as one text.
Uh-huh.
So you need to open a .csv file.
Where are you getting the diamond underscore dataset?
I'm getting them
Like
from.
there is a file with that name in the folder that you shared.
Yes, that's where I got it.
No, you look for the CSV file, the one with ending with a CSV.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's the one with lab2 underscore data. The one that can you click on the icon at the end where I'm putting the pointer? Within the environment, there's lab2 underscore data. Can you click on the view icon where there is Excel? Just move to the extreme end where you can see like up.
Up a bit. No. Down. Just up. Just
Same
up
line.
above that.
Here.
That
Yes.
one, yeah.
No, the one below.
No.
Oh, okay.
One below.
Yes, that is the
Yeah,
data
so
set
that's
we are
the diamond data set. You can use that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We
So just the name. Okay.
All right, I'll stop sharing.
We gave it a name diamond. Okay, we imported it as lab2 underscore data and we gave it a new name diamond, but you can also give it any other name in case you're interested.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, please don't get discouraged. The few errors can be sorted instantly and then we move on. Thank you, Thomas, for noting that. That diamond he is using, is it one? Please type the question in the Q&A, then we can be able to help. Remember, I said diamond is just an object, okay? It is just the name I gave my data set. So it doesn't matter whatever name that you give it. You can, yesterday we saw some participants who were sharing and they labeled their data sets with their names and it was still working out. So it is important to understand what are we doing such that in the long run, you can easily adjust whatever we are doing on your project. Okay, so diamond shouldn't be a problem. You can change that name to something else. All right. Okay. So we are looking at how to create a new variable. Okay, we are creating a new variable called sum. And our sum, we are going to get the length of each diamond. We add it to the width of that same diamond. And then when we sum the two, whatever we get, it's going to be the sum. Okay? And But we want, now when you look, I was still explaining that when you check in the console, we are given the different sums for all the diamonds. Maybe just to be more detailed here within the console, what you're seeing here is that this is 1. We are starting telling you that this is 1, and then you're counting. So at the end, this is the 12th one. So when you come back again, when you start this one, it is the 13th diamond. That's why you're having 13 here. So when you count, and what you're having here, it is the 97th diamond. So this is 97, 98, 99, 100. Then this last one is 100. But what we are interested in, we want what we are having here to be part of our data set. All right. So what we are going to do, we need to put our variable within the diamond data set. So if my variable is sum, so what I do, I come here and I say, okay, I want it to be within the diamond data set. So how do I do that? Then $, I create the new variable, which is sum, such that next time when I go back, I'm able to see the sum variable. Okay, so if this is my new variable, but I want everything to be equal to line 36. Okay, so when I run, so it's what I'm having here. When I run line 39, please check, I have 7 variables. I want to see, is there any change? Now, when I run line 39, you see that my variables are increasing from 7 to 8. Let me click the view and see. So I'm seeing that now I've created a new variable. Okay, I'm going to give a simple exercise and then you do it from wherever you are. Now let's multiply, instead of addition, let's multiply and create a variable mount. Can you do it from your end? Let's create a variable mount. Okay, I've called it mount, or you can give it any name. Okay, and we want to multiply width and times length. Can you please try it? And then you let me know if you've been able to create it. We are creating a new variable called mount, okay? And we are multiplying length and width. Could you please try and see if it is, if you're getting it right? Okay, Priscilla is saying done. Got it, Stephen. I want to see more people that have tried. Okay. Daniel, John, I want to see. Okay, please type if you've managed to do it. Great. Okay. Yeah, I think now we've gotten that. So maybe if you now you want to interface with your own data set, you know what you can do if you want to create a new variable. Okay, great. I'm going to leave line 41. For it was about creating a main, but it's the same thing. Since you've managed to create the mount variable, then I'm going to proceed. The next one, we are going to move together, such that I don't leave anyone behind. We want to try, how do we record a variable? Recoding a variable. And here, I want us to, there is a colleague who asked on day 1, how can we convert a continuous variable to a categorical variable? Okay, I'm going to do one, and then you still do that simple exercise at your side and see how it can work. We have many continuous variables, okay? But I'm going to consider the one of price. And what we are going to use here, we want to categorize price into 2. okay, where the diamond has a low price and where the diamond has a high price. You can have 2 levels, you can have 3 levels, you can have 4 levels, whatever levels that you're interested in. You can convert from a continuous to a categorical, but the other way around is not possible. Okay. Let's first understand. I'm saying that we want to use the if-else command, all right? So how do we understand how this command works? We said we can use the help window to support us understand how a particular command works. You can say help in bracket, you put in whatever that you want to learn more about. Or you can just put a question mark, if else, and you click the run button. Okay, so I'm running line 50. Because I want to convert my price into 2. Okay, and then you also after completing this, you're going to also try your end using a different variable. Okay, I'm running line 50. When I run line 50, you can also do the same and then listen to what I'm saying. You find that if you check in the help window, they're telling us that it's a conditional element selection. If else returns a value, a description, what does it do? If else returns a value with the same shape as test, which is filled with elements selected from either yes or no, depending on whether the element of test is true or false. You can as well also use it when you're having true or false, yes or no, whatever is binary, okay? Now, how is it being used? This is what we are having. They're telling us that when you're using the if-else command, inside the bracket, you start with the test, okay? In case the test is passed, give it a yes. In case the test is not passed, let it be a no. Okay, the moment you understand how it works, then it will be easy for you also to apply it that particular side. What is more interesting with R, it also goes further to explain how the arguments are being used. In case you move down, we are having that what is test? An object which can be coerced to logical mode. Yes, that one return values for a true element and then no return value for a false element. Hope we are together there. So now, in our case, what tests can we have? I'm just suggesting, remember we are just learning and but it also goes back to what objectives do you want to answer? Okay, so I want to consider that in case a diamond has a price greater than the mean, that is the test I want to consider. Give it high. Sorry? You mean? Okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue. So in case I run, I'm going to use a variable price. Remember, price is it's numerical. So I'll use summary. If you remember how we used summary yesterday, I'll use summary, and then inside I go to my diamond dataset, $price. So in case I run line 46, when I look down here in my console, I'm having that my mean is 4534. and it's a criteria that I want to use. When my price is greater than the mean, so the yes would be give it high. It's a name I want to put. Because here we are saying this is yes. If the test is passed, give it yes. So my yes would be label it high. If otherwise, label it low, which is the no. Okay, so how am I going to write my test such that I fill it in there? I'm going to say it's going to be diamond $ price. I'm creating a test, and I'm saying that if it is greater than the mean price, okay, this is the test I want to consider. But what is my mean price? I've seen it already that is 4534. So it is what I'm going to, put here, 4534. So where there is the test in the help window, I'm going to type in what I want to consider as my test. So if the test is passed, my yes, I'm saying give it high. If the test otherwise, give it low. That is under the new variable I'm creating. I want it to be under a new variable called price cut, which I'm having here. So the new variable of price cut that I'm creating is the one that is going to give me a structure whereby it is going to show me the high and then the what and then the low. And I also still want it to be within the diamond data set. Okay, when I run line 54, what is going to happen is that when you check, my variables have increased again. Okay, let's view and see if what we've done has worked out. Okay, so the first one, my price is 6214. So it is greater than the mean, which is 4534. So it implies that when I come to the price cut, this is going to be high. When I come to the second diamond, where the price is 1323, so it is not greater than the 4534, the mean price. So it implies that it will be now go under the low category, and that's why I'm having low. So the same applies to all the other prices. The one above, it takes the high, the one below takes the low. Okay, let me ask in the chat, is that clear? Is it okay? Okay. I'm still seeing people saying no, not clear. You're very fast. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Let me repeat again. And then after, we are going to get one participant and demonstrate for us how can we do the same when it comes to a different variable, any variable, provided it is continuous in nature. What we are saying, we want to categorize the prices of diamond into two, whereby I've got the price of high and then a price of low. Within R, you can use the if-else command to support you, right? To come up with a two binary outcome, right? But when you check in the help window, the usage of the if-else, it is asking us that what you have to put first inside the bracket is your test. What are you testing? When the test is passed or confirmed, then you'll have a yes. Otherwise, it will be a no. Okay, so I suggested that since we have a variable called price, we can test and say, when the price is above the mean, let's label that diamond to belong to a high price. When the price is below the mean, that will be the no, let's label it low price. Okay, so when you look here, the yes or no, it implies that if this test is passed, then put a comma, you'll have a yes. If it is not passed, then it's gonna be a no. Okay, when we run the summary statistics for price, when you check in the console, this is what we came up with. I'm highlighting the result. The minimum price is 382. The median is 319. The mean is 4534. And then the maximum price is 18296. So what do I want to put as a test? Okay, I say that, well, I'm going to go to my diamond dataset. I pick the price. Okay, and it is what I'm having here. So the test that I want, I'm putting a greater sign, okay, which I'm having here. If it is, so whatever, any price within my diamond data set, if it is greater than the mean, that is the test I'm going to put within here at this particular point. So if it is greater than my mean, the yes would be label it high. If it is otherwise, give it no, implying that if it is lower than the mean, label it low. And what I did, I used the if else command, and the other things I was doing was just to feed in the arguments. This is my test. Let me undo that. This is my test that I want to use. If it is passed, I'll give it a name high. Otherwise, I'll give it low. I'm putting everything inside the bracket of the if else command. So when I click here, you can see that I've closed the bracket. And I'm creating a new variable, which I'm calling price cut. But I want the price cut to be within the diamond dataset. That's why I'm writing diamond $price cut. The new variable that I'm interested in, it should have two options for the high and then the low. If I run this particular line, again, in case I run it, for me to see the effect, I need to view the data set. So if I'm to view here, you see that I've created a new price cut variable. Okay, let's just look at the original price. The original price here for diamond 1, it is 6214. And this value, the 6214, this value here is greater than the mean value, because we said that the test is whenever the price, if I pick a price and it's greater than 4534, label it high. Otherwise, label it low. So since my first price here is greater than 4534, so under the price cut variable, it is going to show that it's what? That it's high.
Ellen.
Okay. Yes, please.
Now, people want to know why you have to use C. The concatenate. Yeah, so I don't say what does C stand for?
Okay, C is to concatenate, bring together. Just that. Okay, so I'm suggesting that can we get one participant to explain to us how we can pick another variable, for example, weight, and then you discuss for us, you create a new variable and you categorize weight. But like I mentioned, you can have maybe as your homework, you can, how do you, maybe in case you want to categorize price into 3 levels, high, medium, and then low, you can do that as your own homework. It is also easy within R. So can I get somebody to demonstrate? Maybe it will be easy that way to speak that you're understanding what we are doing. And David, could you promote one participant? Anthony is asking why we consider mean to categorize high and low. It is just a test I thought about. So remember, it's about what objective that you're answering. It's a demonstration. So you can say, well, I'm going to consider the median. I'm not going to consider the mean. And still it works out. Or I'm going to consider.
Charles Maina is now ready
sharing
to
my screen.
All false.
Is my screen visible from your side?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. My name is Charles Maina, a PhD student from Kenya, University of Nairobi. Thank you so much, Dr. Helen, for taking us through on how to create or to concatenate the variables. And I'm going to do a demonstration using weight. In this case, as we've been told by the facilitator, is that number one, we start by understanding the descriptive of the data. So I'll want to create a summary of weight. So my data, my data here, as you can see, I've called my data minor. So I'm going to call minor, and then I do the $sign, then weight again here. So that way, so then I run this and be able to see my data, how my data is from R. So as you can see, for example, the mean of my data is 0.8913. That is it. So in this case, if I have now to create a new variable, as we've been explained to, I'm going to use this, and therefore I'm going to call again from my data, because my data is minor, then now give a new name that I want, a name of my new variable that I'm creating. Perhaps I may call it weight, I may call it weight 2, like that. Then I'll say it is equals to, so it is equals to, again, now the test, if else, as we've been told, if else, like that, then I will call my data. This is how my data looks like. So minor, then the $, then I'll say weight, which is now the weight as we, from now the weight, the original weight now from the data set. So weight, if it's greater than, remember, this is the mean of the summary. So pick my mean there, come and paste it here now, like that. So I'll say, as we've been told, I'll see the function or how we can interpret C. So I'll say, I'm going to add these. If my weight is greater than 0.8913, then this should be high. Okay. Then again I say comma. Then if else the weight is less than 0.8913, then this should be low. That should be low. Sorry. Yeah, so that is it. Then from there, there's an error here. There's an error. If else minor, like that. C high, C low. Yeah, so don't know why there's an error here.
Remove the bracket after 0.8913.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that's now the command. And then I will run my command. And you can see in the console, the command has run successfully. Then when you come now to the environment, you'll be able to see, because I enter of variables, now they are 13. So if we click view, remember the variable that we created is called weight2. So let's now view the data and be able to see. So I click here, then I'll be able to see weight2 here from the end. So you'll be able to see that, as we've been told, if the mean weight was 0.8913, any entry that is that is greater than 0.8913, then it will be high. That's what it means here, as you can see in this column here. And if it is lower, if the entry is low than 0.8913, then it will be labeled as a low. So that is it from what we've been explained to. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Charles. That is so great. Let me hope now we are following. Okay. All right. That was great. I think we can now move on. You can still practice for the rest of other variables to see if you're picking what we are doing. But I think Charles has clearly explained it very well. Okay. All right. So that is also whatever we are doing is still data manipulation. You're trying to figure out how your data, what am I going to do? Maybe you want to do a binary logistic regression and you want to see maybe the probability that the price will be high. Or you see, so in that particular case, then you know that for you to use a binary logistic, you'll need you'll need a variable with two levels. So you can further go ahead and convert from continuous to categorical. Okay, let's move on. What about renaming? In case you want to rename a variable, you want to rename a column name. Okay, what we do here, we use what we call the rename command. Please try to practice also, such that at least you pick something before the session ends. So what we are going to do, we are going to use the rename command. Inside rename, first we put in, we type the name of our data set. In my case, it's diamond. Okay. Other people have different names, provided you're consistent on what you're doing. It will even help you to understand what we are doing better. And then after the data set name, if I put data set name, and then after the data set name, you put the new name that you want, and it will be equal to the old. This is what we are going to do. And I'm doing everything. I want to rename within my what? My diamond data set. I don't want to change anything. I want everything to still be within my diamond data set. So this is what I'm going to, so what is the name of my data set? The name of my data set is diamond. What new name do I want to use? I type it here. In this case, it is weight, but in capital letters. And it is going to replace the old name, which is weight in what? In small letters. So in case I run this particular line, okay, how do I check that it has been, the effect is there? So I'm going to use the call names. I want to see, so I want to call all the names that I'm having, because initially weight was in small letters. Using the call names, then inside I type in the name of my data set, which is diamond, and I run it. If I check in the console, I'm seeing now that I no longer have the weight in small letters, but this time around in what? In weight in capital letters. I want you to do me an exercise now. Change for me where there is price, rename it to cost. Where there is price, rename it to cost using the rename command. Then I'm going to check in the chat if you've been successfully done that. We are renaming from price to cost. That is a simple exercise that we're doing right now. And then for you to check if the renaming is okay, use call names in bracket, put the name of the data set, and check do you still see price or it has changed to cost. Let me check in the data set, in the chat, if some people have managed. Rename function is not found. If the rename function is not found, it implies that you never loaded your dplyr. You never loaded the libraries. Load the libraries and redo it again. That's why I told you each time you open R, load your libraries, because some libraries support in data manipulation, especially the dplyr. Okay. I want to see more dones. What about the rest? Okay. All right.
Somebody's asking that we rename from what to what.
We want to rename price to cost. The price variable, we want to change it to cost. That is the exercise I've given, and you're supposed to do it right now. And if you want to check if it has worked, please write call names and then put the name of the data set. Okay, great. Now let's move on. We are going to move on to another way on how we can manipulate our data. And this is going to be, we're going to use the subset command. Maybe some of you within the agriculture field and you have different plots. Maybe you want to first do analysis for plot 1, then plot 2, then plot 3. So you can subset and say, okay, let me first consider plot 1. And then after that, I consider the others and so on. So we are going to say the subset command. What I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to recall my original data again, just for demonstration purposes. Okay. Now, I want to only have a data set. Please listen carefully, because I do one, you also practice your end, and then alert me that you've successfully got it. So within my data set, okay, I've got a variable called diamond, and diamond has got 5 levels. So I want to create a data set that only has fair diamonds. Let's go back and just to remind you a little bit. If I put table diamond $, diamond $, quality. If I run that, you find that fair is 5, good is 8, ideally 39, premium is 35, very good is 13. It's the same thing as saying maybe you have plot 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 5. So what if within this master data set of diamond, I want to create another subset, another small data set that only has fair diamonds, period. And I don't want the rest. So it implies that I'm going to create a new name of the data set where I want to only have fair diamonds. So in this case, I'm calling it a new name called diamond fair. And then the subset, this is my subset command that I'm going to use. So inside the subset, I first put the name of my data set, the master data set, which is diamond. Okay. And then after that, I bring in the variable I want to consider. This is the name of my data set, the master data set, which is diamond. So I'm saying that within the master data set, go into pick for me quality, which is my categorical variable, but only give me diamonds that only give me quality diamonds that are fair. That's why I've put 2 equal signs, equal, equal, and then double quotes, fair. Okay, so when I run this particular line, my output, I expect to have a new data set, which new data set has only fair diamonds. And I already know that the fairs are 5. Okay, I'm going to run that line. When I look in my environment, there is diamond fair, which is a new data set. Remember, it is a subset. It is a smaller data set of the master one of diamond. So in case I view, okay, what is going to happen? You find that now it is specifically showing me, when you look at quality, I only have the fairs because it's what I've selected. And then it is telling me that it was diamond 2, 8, 17, 58, and then 85, giving me all the other characteristics of weight, color, price, length, width, and depth. Okay. All right. Now, I want us to, I want you now to practice. Let me first check for the case of color. So if I say table and diamond, $, color, if I run that, all right. Now, the exercise is, can you subset for me only G color diamonds? Can you subset for me only G color diamonds? We want to get a data set that has got only diamonds that have got color G. That is our exercise. Please try it at your end, and then you keep me posted. Anyone lost? My output saying no data available. Praise, what could be the problem? Do you want to share and we see what the problem is? I'm very lost. I'm a bit lost. Okay. I got lost in the naming. Use capital F for fair. Okay. Praise, would you love to share and then we see where the problem is? Please keep trying as we are sorting out some other people, because I'm seeing some people have managed to come up with the only that data set with the G color.
Praise who?
Okay. It's Praise, would you love to share and then we see where the problem is?
There are 2 praises, so which one?
Please keep trying as we are sorting out some other people, because I'm seeing some people have managed to come up with the only that data set with the G color.
Praise who?
Okay. It's Praise, would you love to share and then we see where the problem is?
There are 2 praises, so which one?
Please keep trying.
Praise, you can share.
Praise Moloma.
Praise, so Praise, go ahead.
This is my screen. So I can see there is an error here. I don't know where I got lost.
I was using line 41 to demonstrate that when you're renaming, you start with the name of your data set, which on line 44, it is diamond. Then new is your new name that you want to use. And then old is what was the original name.
So this one should be double.
Please
Double
comment.
equal sign.
No, it is just a single one. Just put a comment. Comment it from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. And then when I run this, when I click here, it shows.
Can you go back to the script?
Okay.
Okay. Can you put enter and then type enter? Enter on the new line.
Yeah.
Then type table. Let's get the frequencies. Table. Let's get the frequency for quality.
Table.
Yes, use the table command. Diamond quality. It is just table.
I put the
table in bracket, put diamond $sign quality.
$sign quality. Oh, is it because I use the small case?
Okay, it is table, not table 1.
Oh, table.
Line
Sorry.
50.
Table.
Line, it is table, not table 1. Line 50. Okay, run that line. Can you run? So
Yes,
when you look in the console, see how fair is written and see the fair you have.
Yeah.
Can you correct it now?
Okay, yeah, I can correct it.
Okay, you correct it and we see if it will work.
Okay.
Put capital F instead of a small f.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yes. So I run that again.
Yeah, but now, yeah, you go and click view and we see. Yes, you're already there because we are saying that there are 5 of them. Yeah, you're good to go. Okay. Now, can you demonstrate for the one of G color for us, if you've gotten that?
For one of,
we want a data set that only has G as the color for the diamonds. The exercise I told you to do.
With the G color?
Yes, only. So can you take us through?
Okay. Okay, you must get it from the table. That's why we are doing the table. And then inside the table, right, since our data set is a diamond, and since we are just looking at the G color, we do hash a $sign, then color.
Okay, click on color. Click, yeah, run that. Can you run that line?
Yes, run line.
So how many G's do you have?
It's 21 G's.
21 G's.
Only.
So now, create for us a data set, okay, using the subset command that has only 21 G color diamonds.
Okay. So I will, since my data set diamond, and I want the color, the color G.
Only, yes.
So I will write G, capital G, then equals to, sorry. I forgot to put something here. I forgot of subset. Subset where now I'll write down, and then now the G color is equals to the subset.
That subset open with bracket, it is just the command that we need to use. Let it not confuse you.
Okay, that's the command that now diamond inside. Since we are getting we only want to get the G color.
Yes.
So color, I don't know if that's the right spelling, color.
C-O-L-O-R.
Then now and then the G, but we put in those. Then we run. But there's a problem.
Where is the problem? You run and we see. Okay. Are you seeing it in the environment?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, let's view together. Click on view. And it's move and okay. Yes. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. I think we are now on the same page.
Yes, we are on the same page.
Okay, great. Thank you. So you can, thank you, Praise. Hopefully those who are lost and we are now final on the same page. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Now the next thing that we are going to do is to remove a column or remove a variable that you are not interested in anymore, or you've been working and you reach someone like, I'm not interested in variable anymore. I'm going to delete it out. Back to my diamond data set. Okay. So now what we do in this particular case, we still use the subset. This is just the subset command. Let me put the word command. This is just a command, so you shouldn't get confused. So inside the subset command, you put the name of the data set. Okay, here we're going to put name of data set. Name of data set, comma. Then we are going to use the argument called select and is equal to. So what are we selecting? We want to select off those columns that we are not interested in anymore, or the ones that you want to remove or to delete. So we put a minus, and then you put C. We say C is to concatenate together. So when you put C, and then you create a bracket inside C. What do you want to remove? You might say, I want to remove weight and then quality. If you want to remove like maybe 5 variables at a go, you just need to put a comma in between. Or in case you only want 1 variable, then you don't need to put a what? You don't need to put a comma. So it is this line I'm having here, line 93, that go within my diamond data. I'm putting my diamond data set. What do I want to subset? That within the diamond data set, select for me, I'm having a minus now, okay? Minus, concatenate, whatever I'm bringing together, remove for me weight and remove for me quality. So if my original data set has 7 variables, so after removing the 2 variables, I expect my variables to reduce to 2. Okay, and you type in the names that you're interested in. If you're interested in length or depth or width, it's what you would type there. Okay, I'm running line 93. If I run line 93 and come and check in my environment, I see that I only have 5 variables remaining. If I want to view, so this time around, there is no weight, there is no quality. I only have color, price, length, width, and depth. Okay, another exercise. Now, can you go to our diamond data set and delete all the categorical variables and remain with only numerical variables? An exercise for you. Okay, select out, delete out all the categorical, delete out quality, delete out color, and you remain with the rest of other variables. And then you type for me in the chat if you're done. Remember, we said in case you have, if you have an issue, please, you can check it on Google. Google has a lot of answers. If you're not so sure of a particular command, for example, purity, what you do, you use the help command, okay? You can type a question mark. I'm just doing it on line 92. You can use a question mark and then put subset, okay? And then you run. The moment you run it, you come under the help window and read more details. It will support you to be able to understand. For example, here we have subset X. Our X is the data set now that we are using, depending on what you want to subset, and then the next argument is subset. So the help window is also very important to support you really get to know what argument am I going to use, because they give you how the usage, under the usage, it shows you how to use a particular command. Okay. You just rerun it again. You rerun. Simple. Okay, I've seen 3 people so far. Can I see more? You have to check. You can even mark yourself if you've got it right. All right. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Now, how about in case you want to select a row? Okay, I'm still using my same data set. For example, if I want to select a 3rd row, what I'm going to do is that this time around, what is changing are just now the way you put the brackets. This time around, my brackets are like boxed. They are in this particular form. they're in box form. Okay, so what you do, you type the name of the data set, in this case diamond, and then inside, remember, the spreadsheet is like it's in a matrix form, row by column. So I can type it. I need the third row, and then I leave the columns empty, implying that give me all, leave all the rows the way they are, but give me only the third row. If I run that particular line and I check in the console, I'll only have that line of interest. You can do the same in case you need more rows. For example, you can separate them by columns. And like, okay, on line 100, still within diamond, you put a concatenate, bringing together, give me row 3, give me row 4, give me row 6 is what I'm interested in. And you can also give them an object to be with, to create a data frame. So when I run that particular line, you can see I'm only having 3, 4, 6, but with the rest of the other, the column names. You can also do this and you write from 2 to 5. You can do that. And it will give you rows 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then you leave the columns empty. So it will run line through 2 to 5. When you run that, it's what you will be getting. Okay, let me pause in the chat and ask, are we together? Are we together? Please type for me a 1 if we are together. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to look at was on descriptive statistics, but we've covered this already. I'm going to skip this particular bit. If you're interested, you can revise it on your own, but we covered most of the things. I talked about that you can get the minimum, the variance, the median of whatever variable that you're interested in, so I'm not going to go into that. Okay, now the last bit that I want to look at, it's under a little bit of data visualization. And we're going to see more with the other facilitators. But with the data manipulation, those are the things that I wanted us to look at. And you can build from there, okay? It doesn't mean that is all that you can do, but at least when you get where to start from, then you have to, after the baby steps, you have to make more steps. Okay, so this is the last part that I'm going to look at, and then you look at the rest. Yeah, you can still create a vector with concatenation. And somebody's talking about concatenation. You can still use to concatenate when you want to create a vector, because I mean, you're having different numbers you're going to have there. Maybe C in bracket, you put 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can still work the same way. So you're right when you're saying that. All right. Okay, let's go through this very fast. Hope we'll be following. I'm still using my same data set, the lab 2. I gave it the name diamond. So remember when we talked about the method of visualization for a case of a scale variable. Who is that? Priscilla. Okay. David, could you promote Priscilla Rugendo to share with us and see where the problem is? That's your homework. I've already mentioned if you want to change a continuous variable to more than 2 variables, that is your homework. Please do some reading as well after the training today. and see how can I change, for example, if I'm looking at price to more than 2 levels. Also try to be adventurous and enjoy the learning.
Priscilla can now share. Priscilla, please go ahead.
Let me stop
Helen,
sharing.
maybe you have
Sorry.
to stop your screen. Okay. Priscilla, go ahead.
Screen. That's my screen.
What is the problem?
I've not been able to delete the columns.
You forgot to put a minus. Select
Where?
equal to. Okay, let's go back to the R script. Just cross that.
Okay.
Put a minus before C. Select equal to. Line
Before
56. Line 56. Yes, equal to. Put a minus.
Okay.
Now run and we see.
Okay.
Can you view now? Can you view your data set and see if they have
1 minute, I connect my computer to the. I view the data. Sure.
So because the Priscilla fair, we're using that for when we wanted to only have fair diamonds, isn't it?
Okay. So I use the other one.
And then I'm seeing Priscilla has 0 variables.
Yeah.
Okay, can I see the codes again?
The
Can I
codes.
see the R script here? The one that has red, R and R Studio classes. Could you make it a little, okay. Now, I want you to, where is the, can you run the line where you, how you, can I see the Priscilla data set? Because
Okay.
because it is showing you that it has got 100 observations, but 0. Can you run again line 4?
Okay.
Okay. Great. Are you seeing the effect in the environment?
Let me see.
Are you seeing it in the environment?
There's 7 variables.
Exactly. You can view, let's view together.
Okay.
Great. So we have weight, there's quality, color. That is how the data set is, isn't it?
Yes.
The one you're calling Priscilla. Now we want to remove, remove weight and quality.
Okay.
We are going to use the subset command. We type in the name of the data set, which is Priscilla, select equal to, then minus C inside, we want to remove weight and quality. So now you can go back down and run that line, the last line.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Has it worked?
Let me
Can you
check from the
Okay.
environment.
Okay. You
This
can
one?
view? You see?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, it has worked. Thank you.
So each time you face a challenge, try to run the original, the master data set to see
Okay.
where the problem can be and you can sort it.
Thank you, Doctor.
Remember to save your work such that you don't lose the codes. All right, that's good. Any other question, or you're good to go?
I'm good now. Thank you.
Okay, all right. You can stop sharing. Priscilla, stop sharing. Okay. Someone is asking about the script I'm using. I'm using the same script that we have in our in our Google Drive, only that I just got the codes and then I pasted them in a new R script, but they are the same. Just to support the clear training. All right. We've looked at that. I'm not going to look at that. It's you're gonna check again. Okay, just a little bit on let's do some data visualization and see. When you remember in DM6 descriptive statistics, where we had the different methods of analysis, but then you can also go ahead and do visualization. We said if you're having a scale variable or a numerical variable, you can run a histogram. So if just to a quick reminder, if you remember, we had weight, quality, color, blah, blah, up to depth, okay? For the case of a scale variable, it will be good for us if we convert back the quality and color to, let me see if I've got those commands and I just rerun them. I don't want to write it again. Okay, I have this. I have that. Okay. Okay, so when I run the structure again, now I'm good to go with my data. Okay, so if you want to run a histogram, you can use the hist command, H-I-S-T. For those who are interested to learn more about the histogram, you can put a question mark and you type hist, or you can put help in bracket hist. And then you'll be, when you read in the command in the help window, when you run that, you'll be able to get more details on how to run different histograms. Always make use of the help window to support you get more details. Okay, so within the hist command, inside the bracket, I ask, go pick my diamond data set, and then give me the histogram for weight. And then line 167, I'm doing the same thing, that hist inside the bracket, go into my diamond data set and give me the, then I'll want to see the histogram for what? For price. So when I click line 169 and I run that one, I'm able to see how my data is distributed. We are still having it for demonstration purposes. And then sometimes if you want to put breaks and you want also to color your figure, you can put in another argument, comma, which is COL equal to, and then you put color. In this case, I put red. It is still the same command, but within the same command, you can play with it using different arguments. So when I run that, it has now changed to red. If I don't want to put red, I can change and say, well, give me blue. When I run that, it will give me blue. Okay, you can say, I'm not interested in blue, give me green. When you run that, it will give you green, depending. I'm going to still give an exercise at your end.
Yes,
In case,
Elena.
yes, please. Yeah.
Can you allow Amare to share the screen? He's saying he's not seeing the environment.
Oh, all right.
So Amare, can you guys make Amare to see the screen? Share the screen.
He can share his screen, or she.
Okay, thank you. My name is Amara. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, the problem is when I do in the console, I didn't see what I'm doing to view the environment.
They must be down. You see, why don't you clean up everything there first? Can you clean
the environment?
everything there?
Can you see the environment?
Yeah, sweep everything, then you start running and see whether it will not work.
So when I'm adding, let me say this one. Yeah, it shows different things.
No. Those ones, the histogram cannot appear in the
Let me see the others.
Click the environment and we see the history just towards the commands that you
select the environment.
Yeah, environment. Yeah, it shows like that. This. Can you see now?
Okay. Can you go up?
I click on the environment. Yeah.
Can you clean it up?
This way, using the
yes,
but the brush is not active for this one, for the environment. It's active for cleaning.
Okay, now can you go and type RM?
RM.
Just type on the screen, yeah, or RM.
Yeah.
Open bracket.
Yeah.
List equal ls or R.
Like this.
Equal ls.
Yeah.
And open the bracket. Up, yes. Try to run that line and see what it runs.
Yeah, doesn't show anything.
No, you run. Can you run that line? I don't see it running.
I select and just run, right?
I'll go down and see whether there is anything down there.
These are RM list, okay.
Thomas, maybe he can restart. What
yeah,
do you think?
better restart. It looks like the thing has just jumped.
Please, please first save and restart. First save. Don't close before saving.
I just reload it.
No.
I think
you may need to restart the whole thing. It looks like it's not working.
Okay, you mean just closing the R and restarting?
Close the R and restart.
But first save your work.
Okay, okay.
Because it shows red. You have unsaved work.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I saved it. But
Okay,
yeah,
can
okay.
you close and restart and we see?
Okay.
I think you can proceed, Ellen, as he does that.
Okay.
Maybe he wanted to show.
Okay.
So I'm come again. So LM, this thing, right?
It has still jumped.
Maybe, yeah. Let me try it maybe again. I think it's not running. Maybe I should not take time, I think. Okay.
All right. Let me share again. Okay.
Please, if you are seeing error, please read the error.
Okay. Just a second. Just want to. Are you answering? Okay, I wanted to. Okay, let's go to, if you want to, I mentioned earlier that we can use the help window to support us understand most of the things that we want to do. So we are given the description, and then we have the usage. Sometimes you might not need to put in a lot of things, and you just need to put in the variable that you're interested in by default. Maybe you put the histogram. For example, we want to see the histogram for weight or for length and so on. Or you can come here and then, like, they're asking you how many the breaks talks about the beams that you want to have. Most of the time by default, we can actually play around with it, and you even at your end, what about in case you put maybe 12? If you reduce them to 5, if you put them to 6, what is going to happen? Because most of the time you can learn by practicing. Each time you see that something it's not clear, you go ahead and say, what about if I change it to something else? What is going to happen? So let me, in case you move down, so they are telling us that under the breaks, they are putting a function to compute the number of cells, or you can call them beams. You can still further go ahead and read. I've also used the call. This one here, it is talking about the color to be used to fill the bars. Okay, you just need to pick what you want. Do you want to put the X limit and then the Y limit? You know, it all goes back to what you're interested in. All right. And there are also some examples that you can try out and check within on your own to practice and see if you're getting there. Okay. So let me leave this at that, and then you revise on your own and see how does it work. Okay. Then also, in case, for example, if you want to use a chart, a bar chart for the case of categorical variables, remember we had the one of quality. How do we check for quality? If you run line 176, this is the output that we are getting. But yesterday we mentioned that, or the previous session that we've been having, you can as well create an object. Okay, in case I create my object as count to be equal to whatever that I have at line 176, if I run that, I'll not be able to see the result, but in case I run it again, I'll be able to see my output. So we are going to use the command barplot. Okay, this is just a command, and I need to feed in whatever that I'm interested in. So let it not confuse you. So, but inside also, we can say barplot. You can ask R to tell you more details. And it is saying that creates barplot with vertical or horizontal bars. In case you run that line, you'll be able to come here and then read more details. What height do you want? What color are you interested to feed in? How do you want to label the X label, the Y label, etc. The help window will support you. So do you want it to appear vertical or you want it to appear horizontal? We are going to look at that. Okay, so inside, if I'm to follow the argument, I want to have the count, the barplot for my count. In my count is the diamond quality, what I'm having there. Where there is main implies the title that you want to put on the figure. So here I say, in double quotations, quality of diamond. Then the X lab, that is the X label, where and on the X axis, label for me, quality type. You can also go further and label the Y axis by putting Y lab, which is Y label. So if I run line 182 and I check and you look in the plot window, we can be able to see how the plot looks like. All right. If you're not seeing it very well, you can as well further go ahead and click zoom, and then you'll be able to see how the figure looks like. And interestingly, at least you can be able to even give a brief description. Let me first stop that, and then I share. Okay, when I zoomed out the plot, this is what came out. Okay, so you can be able to tell we have the fair diamonds. Remember, there were 5: the good, the ideal, the premium, and then the very good. You can even do some simple narrative basing on the figure that you're seeing, which diamonds, depending on the quality type, are many compared to the other. So we're just shifting from what we are seeing in numerical form and then to a pictorial form, and give just a simple narrative of what that is. Okay, so let me go back and share again. Can you try it for color and see what is going to happen? Can you try it for color? Let's have a bar plot for color, and then you can let me know in the chat if you've been successful. Just a simple exercise. Instead of considering quality, now let's use color. Fatuma is asking, how can we add the value that we have removed? The most easiest way would be that you rerun the master data set. It will be the most easiest, because it is like maybe you've made an error. So it will be good for you to go ahead, maybe on the previous lines, to recall back again that original line, and then you're able to have everything back. Yes, you can. I'm saying sync. You can give it a name and then go ahead and do the plotting. I want to see either no or a yes in the chat that you've been successfully able to plot a bar plot for color. Okay. Tadeo is saying that done. I'm fast. We are going to see that the exercise right now is that can you have a bar plot for color, because it's also categorical, and see if you've been able to get it. Joan, what is the problem? I'm saying you've put a no. Okay. Can we have a break, please? Let's go up to, let me use the remaining 3 minutes and then we'll break at 4. Okay, and then we'll have a break of 10 minutes. Done, okay, great. Okay, now you can also use the AP display library to have interesting plots. For example, if I load that line, okay, of course, it is just a library. I can use the command tab 1, and then inside tab 1, I'm drawing the one for quality. So I tell R, I'm putting, this is just a command, let it not confuse you. It is just a command I'm going to use. So I need to put the different arguments inside that particular command. So I put diamond quality, go to my diamond data set, pick for me quality. Remember, with the tab and then the bar plot, we are plotting categorical variables. And then the other argument is sort.group. And then this one is equal to decreasing, that within the different levels, show it in a decreasing order. Or you can put, instead of decreasing, you can put increasing. So in case I run this particular line, what is interesting is that when you check in the console, I'm given the frequencies. At the same time, when you check in the plot window, I'm also seeing my output. We see that ideal is the highest with 39, premium 35. Then we have very good with 13, good with 8, and then fair with 5. What about in case you want it to appear horizontal? You just need to go back on line 187 and put in another argument, which is HORIZ, horiz equal to true. This argument here is what I've added in line. And then when I run that line, this is what I'm getting now. The same thing, but it's just a different way of showing it. So it is still, now we are seeing fair is 5, good is 8, very good. And then we are seeing that it is in decreasing order. It is inbuilt, it's an inbuilt command. Okay, when we are using the command tab 1, what we want is for us to see both the table, the frequency table. Remember, we're using table to come up with the frequency table. But at the same time, we want to see the plot. Okay, so what we are seeing in the console, we are having the frequency table with its percentages. Okay, we have ideal, premium, the percentage, the frequency, and then the cumulative, the frequency, and then the cumulative, the percentage, and then the cumulative percentage. All right, and then on top of that, it gives us 2 things. We also see the plot in the what? In the plot window. That is what it does. And we can only pick that command from the AP display library. Okay, I'm going to stop here. And we take a break of 10 minutes. So we start at 4:11. But in case you have a question, you can keep posting. I can capture them. Okay, if you're having an error, you display after the break. Let's break for now. David, can I get started, please? Thank you. Okay. Okay. It is off. Okay. Anyone with a challenge and wants to share before we move on to the next session? Anyone with a challenge and wants to share?
There, Helen, you have raised hands from Mary, Elimina, Ronnie, Priscilla, Patrick. So you can select.
David, kindly help me select because I'm failing to see where to go.
Okay, I've promoted Mary and Elimina. So you can select one of them. They are already in the system. So Elimina or Mary can share.
Mary, can you share or okay?
Mary is sharing.
Okay. Mary, what is please talk and we get to know where the problem is.
Mary, you are muted. Please unmute.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Please go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, I was saying, I got lost at the histograms when we were drawing the histograms for quality and weight. And this is because I think my data set, my data, the original data, Diamond.
But you're using Diamond, not lab2 _ data.
Yes, it's Diamond, but you see the error it brought in, it said I had even requested, you see the error, as you can see from the R console, it says error in histo default, X must be numeric. And when I went back to view the data at Diamond, the column using weight and price had been changed. You remember there were those changes you made?
The renaming.
Yes, that is why I got these two errors. So when it came down here, I decided to go back to lab2 data. So that is what I was asking, how do you, because I asked, can you undo a command? How do I get the original data of Diamond before we did those changes?
Can you go back at the beginning, scroll up? Scroll up at the very beginning where you had where you imported that data set. Continue.
No, but if you change the name, then you can use the new name that you change to run it.
The new name?
Yes, so if you change the name of the column, then use the new name to run it.
You see the column doesn't, let me go back. Can I go to environment and open Diamond, the original, what I have at Diamond?
Open.
You see what I have? It's not numeric in nature, that is why.
Okay.
You see the weight, I forgot, and price. When we were doing this, what was it called? When we were trying to use the low or high, using that command, I did not create a separate column. So my original data seems to have, I did not create an object for that new column. So it seems like my original data got changed using high, low, high, low.
Yeah, you replaced it when you're creating a new variable. You are supposed to use a different name, not the old name which is in the data set.
Oh, so now, hey, so that means now, how will I get no, now this is changed like for good. I cannot go back.
You still have the lab 2 data set, which is there, which has the same information, no?
So I can use the lab 2 data now from
Precisely.
there. Okay, that is where I was stuck. That was the problem with this problem.
Just go back to that line I was telling you and run it again.
Yeah, you can call the data set again and start the process.
Yeah.
The good thing is once you have your script, you can always go back and run the process all over again.
So, pardon, Dr. Helen, you're saying I go back to where exactly?
Scroll up. At the very beginning is where it's what you want to see.
Unfortunately, I combined yesterday's work with today's work. So
yes, it's okay. Where is your set your set working directorate?
I get it. Here it is.
Yes. Now run line 13 again.
This okay.
Yes, you run it again. I think you can see now you have 107 variables.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So you can use that approach for you to recall back the original data set that you had.
Yeah.
If you want to retain the new created variables, you can use write.csv command, and then now you import a new data set with different changes and you save it differently, and then you check it from the folder where you're working from.
Okay. So always try to follow your data set and see whatever you do to your data set, try to record it. Yeah, so if you made any changes, you need to know those changes. Otherwise, you're going to analyze the wrong data set.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
And then the other one is who? Elena.
Elmina.
Okay.
My problem was the same as Mary's. I have sorted it out as you were showing her.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you.
So Helen, can we give a second person or that is enough?
Okay, it's okay. If there is somebody else and wants to share, please feel free.
Yes, there is Martin, Opoku, and Patrick.
Okay.
Patrick.
Let's hear from Patrick
please.
and Martin.
Okay. Patrick, please go ahead and share your screen. Patrick, please unmute yourself and share your screen.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
Now, for me, I got lost in the part of Instagram.
We are getting a feedback. You might have to reduce one of the devices in the room, the volume, because we are getting
from
a feedback.
The Instagram.
Okay, now it's fine.
That is from this point. When I run my data, I can get it well.
And anybody who can tell us what is the error with line 90? Anyone who can share?
Line 90?
Your line 90, 90.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that you're failing to get histogram, not so.
Yes.
But that line has an error. Anyone to tell us? Yeah, Timothy is saying that there is no $sign.
Okay.
Instead of a $sign, you put S. Yes, the diamond, the dollar sign should be between diamond and the variable, not diamond. You use diamonds? Okay, all right.
Diamonds.
You can run now and we see.
Yes, there I can see.
Sometimes you just need to give it an extra look and to get to know what could be the problem, and you can discover that. Okay. And then the other one is what?
It is the background. Now I had not installed this package. So when I did it, then the next step is what I failed to get now.
It is saying that the AP display is in use. Can you run the library? Run 101 and we see. Run that line. You already have it. You installed it already. So go ahead and run the following commands.
So
you don't. The moment you install a package, you don't need to reinstall it again. You just need to load it with the library command. I'm just wondering if we've been able to help you.
Yeah, you have helped me. Thank you.
Okay. Now, if in case you go ahead and run the command with the tab one, then you should be able to see the result. And I believe some other people are also commenting that they're failing to see the tab one function. You need to first load the AP display data package. It's where that function is. If you don't have it, you'll keep on getting an error.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
And the other colleague?
The other colleague is Martin.
Martin?
Martin Opoku, please go ahead and share yours. Martin, please unmute yourself.
Hello, please, am I audible enough?
Yes.
Okay, so my problem has to do with the tab one command. This is what I'm seeing in the console, an error.
Can you run line 1 to 6?
Okay.
Kindly clean, Can you clean up the console? Yes, and we see properly. Sweep it. Okay, run display 1 to 6. Run that. Okay, now those are just warnings. So when you run line 1 to 9, what happens?
Okay.
It is sort.group. It is sort.group, not sort comma group.
Okay.
Dot. Run again.
Okay.
There
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think that's okay. We are seeing the results and then also the picture within the plot window. Okay. I think anybody else, or we can continue?
We can continue.
Okay. No. Okay. If in case you're installing the AP display and you're not, it's giving an error, check if you're using the updated version of R. most of the time it happens when the version you're using is not the newest. Upload. David, kindly allow Rashid, and then now we can continue. He's also, I think, has something that you said, Rashid.
Rashid who? We have three Rashids. Rashid Nek Juma,
Okoth.
Rashid Okoth.
Rashid
Okay,
Okoth.
Rashid Okoth. Okay.
Rashid, are you
Yes,
there?
Rashid, please go ahead and share your screen. Rashid is in there. Rashid, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Is my screen visible, sir?
No, you have not yet shared. You click share screen and then you open or double click on the file you're sharing.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir, I am meeting this
Yes.
when I'm
It's okay.
trying to make the
It's okay.
upload.
So which line?
This line is 61, from line 61 where I failed here.
Okay. Now let me ask a question. What is your count?
I did not understand that part, my doctor.
That's why you're having an error, because you're supposed to first define count prior with, okay, enter from bar plot.
Yes.
Just click enter, and then we'll write what count is.
Yes.
Enter such that from undo there and then create space.
Oh, okay.
Hmm?
Yes.
Because our count was defined as table diamond. Okay, count.
I type count.
Undo. You need that bar plot on line 64.
Okay, okay.
Can you undo?
I don't know. How do I undo?
Go to edit.
Okay.
Click there.
Mm.
Click on that.
This?
Do it again. Okay, perfect. Now, at the end of bar plot on line 60,
yes,
put the cursor there, then enter. So we want to do a bar plot for quality. All right,
yes,
it's what we are
yes,
interested in.
Yes,
now, can you first, let's put table. We want to see the frequencies first. Table in bracket.
Yes.
Yes. Call the diamond data set, $ quality. $
quality.
Yes, quality. Now run that line. Great. So we are seeing our output in the R console. So we want to put everything in line 61 in an object called counts.
Yes, doctor.
So write counts. That's the object we are going to use. So less or dash, not that one. We are using counts as an object.
Okay.
Less or dash, or you can put an equal sign. We are signing. Okay, let everything be equal to line 61. Copy 61 and have it there. Are you there? Okay,
Doctor.
now run for me line 62. When you run line 62, you're not seeing the result, isn't it?
Yes.
So can you now come at the end of line 62 and enter? Yes, let's see what is inside counts. Retype that word count, C-O-U-N-T-S, on line 63.
Yeah.
Okay, run. Are you seeing that we are getting the same results?
Yes, doctor.
Now, when you come to the bar plot, we are going, so that was the counts you're talking about, that it is the one picking line 62. Inside counts, we have the frequencies for the diamond, for quality variable, all right? Now,
Yes.
when you come to line 62, you put counts, comma, then the rest. I'm seeing as if it's a dot. I don't know whether it's a comma. Line 62, after counts.
Here?
Sorry, 64, 64.
Okay, this
Is it a comma or a dot?
A dot.
No, it's supposed to be a comma.
Okay, thank you.
Put a comma. We mentioned that main means title, that you want to label your bar plot as a color of diamond. X lab is X label, all right? Okay, yes. Now run line 64 and see.
Wow, it has worked.
Okay, so you need to follow through. If there is somebody that's not clear, you look, you check a little bit such that you're able to follow through.
Yeah, thank you very much, doctor.
Okay, so for you to run line 65, you need to first load the library EP display. Otherwise, it will give you an error. That's why you're having that error. Is it? Did you load it already?
Yes, I remember loading it.
EP display. Okay, let's run and see. Run that line. 64.
It is bringing an error.
Yeah, you need to confirm if you installed it and then you load it again. That's when that line 65 will be perfect.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
Okay. I hope hope we can move on. Okay, you can stop sharing and then we continue. Please load the AP display package, because if you don't have it, you're going to keep on getting an error for the tab 1, because that is where that function is built. David, we have Justin Mutoni who wants to be promoted. You said the person is who?
Justin said she just wants to talk, not sharing the screen, so I've allowed her to talk. Please talk.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I just wanted to ask some questions. I don't want to share the screen. What does counts stand for? I actually didn't get what it really means. Like when we run counts, I didn't understand what it really stands for, although I have run it and it went well.
Okay.
Again, why does rename require capital letters? Because when I was running it without capital letters, it couldn't run. Thirdly, what if when I was running for the histograms, it couldn't, it's just curiosity. I wanted to do vertical, then equal to false. So I was expecting it to give me horizontal, but it did not. Does it work, or can we help me? I just want to do things when I understand them, not just to do as if I am a robot. Thank you.
Okay. Thomas, are you there?
Yes.
Is it okay if you can respond?
Okay. Okay. Well, it's not really that we want you to do things like robots. I think at the moment, it's important to first motivate. So the first thing is, if you can run something and see that it works, it can motivate you. And then later, you can try to go behind and see what's happening. Now, ARA, that's what we call object-oriented programming. So that means you need to create an object and then use that object for you to do anything with it. Like what we did first, you wanted to have bar graph. Now, a bar graph will show us the different categories and how many are.
Dr. Thomas, we can't hear you. Okay. Dr. Thomas, we can't hear you. Anyway, maybe I'm going to explain and then Prof. Susan will come in and give us more details. For the case of the count, Justin, like Thomas was explaining, it is just an object that we created, implying that even if we go back again and rename it to Justin, we'll still come up with the output. Let me try it for you. Okay, let me share my screen and we do it practically.
Hello, sorry, hello?
Okay, yes.
Sorry, my internet went off.
Mm.
Yeah, so if you look at line 178, so with line 178, we are trying to create an object which we call counts. And in that object called counts, we are going to have the different categories of qualities and the frequencies with which each type or each category of qualities occurs. So that's why in line 178, you run that. And then in line 179, you check what you've created. So then later you can go ahead and then use it in line 182. So in line 182, we have the function called bar plot. And for you, you need to specify what needs to be plotted. And the count which you created in line 178 is the one now that you're trying to plot. So that's why you have this. Is that clear? Are you getting me?
Justin, are you
Hello?
still?
Yes, I can get you.
Hello?
Yes,
It's also
she's
clear.
listening.
Okay. The second question, I think I've forgotten the second question now.
On rename.
Okay. Now this is a language. So at the end of the day, it depends on how somebody programmed it. And remember what Ellen said, that R is case sensitive. So if you're called Tom, if somebody call you Tomo, then that means it's not going to work. So that's the whole thing. So there are things that are here in like table. This table here, you cannot write it with capital because then it will not be recognized as the language that we have. So R is a language, and if it is a language, that means it should be written in a certain way. So you cannot change. It's always good to try. Yeah, I mean, if you feel a bit curious, try to run it and see what happens. That's the easiest way to run. And then the third question.
Natalie, if you allow me, on
Yes.
the renaming, for me, when I was writing weight and cost equal to price, I wrote C capital letters and remaining lowercase. But
Justin,
it couldn't work.
sometimes it would be good if you show the the R
Yeah,
script,
yeah,
we can easily
could-
see where the problem is.
Yeah, you show the script, then we can actually tell where the issue is.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So
just like you have a name. So if you're Justin and somebody calls you Justus, that is different person altogether. So those commands actually have different ways that how they're supposed to be written. So let's wait for the okay. Okay. So we're saying rename Justin cost equals to price. Okay. So what is the issue here? Okay, so you see now in one case you
Justin, you are muted.
Justin, can you talk?
She's muted. Please unmute yourself.
Oh, okay, sorry. So if you could see the previous line that I showed, the cost
Yes.
was in lowercase.
Okay,
But
you go
now,
up.
yeah. Yes, this is 83.
Okay. Yeah. So you see now the new and the old. So the old is important because the old is what you have in the data set. So that should actually be fixed. But the new, you can change whatever you want to have with the new. It doesn't matter whether you have it with capital or you have it with small letters. What you need to know is that later on, when you go to check the names of what you have in your data, you'll get what you have. But for the old need to be fixed because you're trying to change the old to create the new. How you specify the new is completely your own making, but the old should be what is in the original data set. Is that clear?
Yeah. Yes. But then when I did, there's not, oh, I think I can see when I made a mistake. This J was in capital in the first.
But you see now, if you already change it to cost, and then you're trying to run it with price. You see, price doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I already have the
Yeah, so unless you have this with the capital O and the small to change it to everything capital, then it will not work.
Okay, the last question, it was just curiosity. When I was running this one of bar plots, tab, when I do the horizontal, it runs. And then I was trying to do vertical. It also when I put true, it also goes vertical.
No.
I was trying to see if I put false, it can work.
No. You see what happens is then if it tells you you need to change it from here, then change to false.
Where?
Can you change the horizontal to false? Instead of true, you change it to false. And run.
Oh, it goes vertical. Okay.
Yeah. So you can change it from there. So you change with what is in the program. You don't create your own.
So if I do vertical,
you run line 11112, what will it say?
Let me do that. That's what I wanted actually. It goes horizontal. But it doesn't work.
So what you do is you just put a question mark and type tab 1, and then you'll be able to see It will tell you what you actually need. Type question mark. No. Tap 1 and run that line. Remove the question mark. Just run that line. So when you go down, then it will tell you the different things that you have there. You see now, it has horizontal equal to false. So that means you can change this one either to false or true. But you cannot, the vertical is not there. So when you're creating your vert there, that's completely different thing. It's not it's not defined within the command itself.
Okay.
So later when you want to modify this command, you can always come in and say, okay, what does XO mean? What does the des equals 1? What does sort? See sort dot group equal false, that means it does not sort with the group. If you say equals true, it will sort with the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand now. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. That was my questions. I appreciate for the assistance.
Okay.
Okay, you can stop sharing, Justin. Thank you so much for being active. Thomas, thank you. Prof, do you want to add something? Yes. Okay. I would encourage you that you have these commands already. You have this script already. So the homework that we are going to have tonight is sit back and run these commands one by one. And please try to attach meaning. Why am I doing this? It's like that. After that, and then you try to reconstruct yourself that can I now reproduce the same commands just on a different project? Okay, because my colleague also needs to really get in and facilitate. So when we come for a case of the pie chart, I'm going to skip some of the bits because Prof is going to talk about them in more details tomorrow. Maybe the other bit that I can share about the question that a colleague asked was about how can we use inbuilt datasets, or how can we access inbuilt datasets? It's the only thing that I'm going to talk about right now, and then the rest is going to be your homework to go through the scripts again. I mentioned when we are starting our training on Monday that R has got inbuilt datasets. The same applies to Starter, you know, sometimes we can, but the question was, how do we access this particular data? Okay, I'm going to run line 12214, but the command that we use for us to see all the datasets within R, it is data open brackets. So in case I run line 125, okay, if I click the run button, what I'm going to say, it is going to show me all the packages, all the datasets within R, and the title is R datasets. There is one, what you're seeing on your left, these are the titles, and then on your right are the descriptions. For example, you have the one of air passengers. What does that dataset have? Monthly airline passengers numbers from 1949 to 1960. That is for the case of time series data. And then we have the carbon dioxide too. It shows us that carbon dioxide uptake in grass plants. So there are very many. We cannot exhaust them. So it depends on which one do you really want to use, and then maybe to support you when you want to learn. Okay, so going back, in case you want to pick a specific one, what you do, now you type the command data, and then inside you type in the data set that, sorry about that. Inside you type in the data set that you're interested in. For example, here I came and just picked air passengers. So I came back here, and then inside the bracket, I typed in the name that I wanted. So when you come and click on line 128, if you run it and you check in your environment, you'll be able to see that data set. The title is air passengers and it's showing its time series. I picked also another data set, which is the chicken weight. I also picked it from the R data set. You can practice any. When you run line 220, if I run that, when I come to my environment, now I'm able to see this new data set, which is the chicken weight with 5, 7, 8 observations and 4 variables. You can as well go ahead and view and see how it looks like, okay? What about the diamond? Somebody was asking about the diamond. I did the same thing. I got my data command, and then inside the data command, I typed in diamonds because it's a data set that we are using. But so when I run that particular line, when I check in my environment, I'm seeing that we have got 53940 diamonds. For demonstration purposes in our training, I only picked 100 observations, but the full data set within R, it is this one here, whereby they considered 53,940 diamonds, and they are picking 10 variables. You can click on it and then still check what different things that would you really want to look at. There are also more variables like cut, and then we have clarity, the depth, the table, and so on. But I only picked just, I just dropped some of the columns. I guess now you know the language that I'm using to support me just to, when we are training. So that is how you can go ahead and get inbuilt data sets. So, homework. The homework is, please sit down and go ahead and run through the different commands within the class1.r script, such that by tomorrow, you're able, maybe we'll ask some people to share with us. In case there is any challenge, then we can look at that. But as you keep on practicing, also have at the back of your mind to understand, what does this command do? Am I able to reproduce it on something else other than just follow? And then as you keep on practicing, things will be more clear. We mentioned that R is an open source, and whatever error that you're encountering, somebody else already, maybe somebody else outside there in the world has it. Just copy the error, paste it in Google, and then see how different people went ahead to answer that particular challenge, because that is the way you learn. When you encounter a challenge and then you get a solution, so the next time you encounter it, it will be easy for you to follow it up. Hope that is clear. So there are some more codes on graphics, but I'm not going to go into that. And then maybe the other homework that I want to share with you when we go back to our PowerPoint is about how to merge data sets. Yes, I want you to go ahead and check how to merge data sets, okay? They're just only 2 slides. And then later, go into our folder for day 1. We have weight 1 and then weight 2, and practice on those data sets and see how do we merge them. And then I will get 1 participant or 2 tomorrow to show us how those data sets were merged. I'm going to stop here and then take back. Sorry? What is the location of the inbuilt data sets? They are within R. Somebody is asking that what is the location of these inbuilt data sets? They are within the program. You just type in the, they're actually designed under different packages, okay? So, for example, if you're considering the MPG data set, it is under the ggplot2 package. All right, so it's up to you to know what command do I use, the data, and then inside you type in the name of the data set that you're interested in. Well, we'll keep answering as more questions come in, and you can still post an email and we'll be happy to answer. David, over to you.
Yeah, Okay, thank you. Let me hand it back to Jolene to invite Professor Rogerio.
Thank you so much, David, and thank you so much to our facilitators. I know this has been a heavy training today because I saw some participants saying that today is heavy, but I'm sure if you get a chance, please go to our YouTube channel and try to go through the training so that you have better understanding. And we hope to see you again tomorrow. But before that, let me invite Professor Rogerio to say his last words for the day.
Thank you, Dr. Runyoraru, for inviting me. I was not able to be in all session, but from the sets of the session that I was able to see, I was really amazed by the way how the facilitators, they were bringing up the issues about R. I would like to ask everybody to clap to them because they were really wonderful in providing this course. Let's make use of the R so that we solve our problems, we were able to analyze the data, we publish, we improve the agriculture sector in Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor, for the kind words. And let's meet again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Bye.
Maybe, Joreen, before you close, participants, we've put more materials in the Google Drive for tomorrow. Please download them. Thank you.